I'm Sam.
And I'm Meddi.
Welcome to the Community On Demand Virtual AI Money Guide podcast.
In this episode, we are discussing skills self-assessments.
All right, ready for this? We're going deep on some really interesting stuff today from Community On Demand.
Yeah.
It's like think of it like your guide to navigate, that crazy world of STEAM careers, especially if you're like that young entrepreneur type, ready to to make a splash.
Yeah.
We've got this copy of O5 Template Achievement Domain Checklist and a Skills Self-Assessment Worksheet v2.pdf.
Okay.
Lots to unpack here. And get this, the checklist, it's got all these super vibrant badges, like actual colorful badges you can earn.
Wow.
It's wild. Like they gamified your whole career journey,
It is interesting how these documents kind of work together. It's, they're not just about learning about these careers, but it's really it's a structured way to actually get experience, to showcase what you can do.
Yeah.
It's like they created a blueprint for turning, what you love into actual achievements.
Okay, yeah, let's break down the checklist first. It's got all these different categories.
It's like career awareness and exploration,
right?
Innovation and entrepreneurship, and a whole bunch of program types.
Yeah.
Like educational, entertainment. I mean, you name it, they got it. There's even a section for junior executive management team roles, which, I mean, come on, that sounds pretty official.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And it shows how they're taking this holistic approach, right? Like they're not just focused on the technical side.
Yeah.
You'll find categories for workforce readiness and personal branding, leadership, teamwork, problem solving. These are things you need, no matter what you want to do.
Exactly. And the thing is, it's not just a list. This checklist, it's a tracker. You hit certain, service goals, these mini projects, and bam, you earn a badge, a digital badge, a micro-credential, and they're not just, a boring certificate. They got these cool names and pictures even.
Yeah, that's important, I think, especially, if you're trying to get a younger audience into this.
It's got to be engaging. You're not just, it's not just a piece of paper. It's something to be proud of, Shows what you've learned.
Right. You can get this mission statement right, and it's got a clipboard on it and some charts, that kind of thing.
Nice.
But you get it by writing an actual mission statement, for your, whatever your impact solution is. It's like a visual reminder that you're actually doing something, not just, thinking about it.
Yeah. And that mission statement can be a jumping off point, right?
Totally.
You can make a business plan from that, a pitch deck. Maybe even use it for crowdfunding. These things, these badges, they show real skills, things you can use in the real world.
Absolutely. And there's this other one, the competitive advantage badge. And this one's got colorful bars on it, right? And you get this one by completing job applications using a STEAM resume and financial portfolios.
Wow.
Think about how valuable that is, right?
Yeah.
It's not just finding a job, it's understanding how do you market yourself? How do you stand out?
You're learning how to present yourself, right?
Yes.
Show what you're worth and how to deal with money stuff.
Yeah.
That's a big deal no matter what you do.
Huge. But it's not all just, business plans and resumes and all that. This checklist, it goes all over the place, skill-wise. For example, in the educational program section, you can get a badge for conducting evaluations for your programs.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
So you're learning about data, how to collect it and understand it. That's a big deal these days, no matter what you're doing.
Yeah. And then there's the entertainment programs section. You can get a badge by creating these program checkpoints, dress code for performers, program length, making sure the material's appropriate, all that. It's, it's like learning how to run an event.
You're learning how to organize things, pay attention to detail, juggle a million things at once.
Oh.
That stuff you can use anywhere. Putting on a play, planning a party, even giving a TED Talk.
It's crazy. It's like they thought of everything. And it all goes back to this idea of you're not just learning, you're doing, right?
Sure.
And you're getting these credentials you can show off.
Right. And there are even more badges, too. You could earn a guest services programs badge by finding mentors in your area, in your field, right?
Yeah.
And there's a community ecosystem badge where you actually map out all the resources in your community using this special grid they have.
Wait, a grid? What is that?
It's like a visual tool, right?
Okay.
It shows you all the people and organizations in your community that can help you out.
Yeah.
It's it helps you see the bigger picture.
So it's not just, learning about these careers by yourself. You're learning how to, like, find the resources,
In your own backyard.
Yeah, exactly. You're not alone in this, right? There are people to help you, places to go.
That's really cool.
Yeah. Okay, so we looked at this achievement domains checklist. It's like your roadmap with these badges as milestones along the way. But what about this skills self-assessment worksheet? How does that fit into all this?
Yeah.
It seems like it helps you figure out like where you're at, right?
Exact.
Skill-wise right now before you even start.
Think of it like taking stock, right?
Mm-hmm.
Before you go on a trip.
Mm-hmm.
It helps you see what you're good at
Mm-hmm.
and where you need some work. The worksheet looks at communication, leadership, teamwork, problem solving, even technical skills.
It's like stepping on a scale before you start a new workout plan,
Oh, yeah.
right?
Yeah.
You need to know where you're starting, right?
Yeah.
So you can make good goals
Yeah.
and see how far you've come.
Exactly. And it's not about being judged. It's about understanding yourself,
Yeah.
seeing where you can grow.
So you do this self-assessment, you see what skills you've got, and then what? How do you connect that back to the checklist, to those badges we were talking about?
That's where the real magic comes in, right?
Uh-huh.
Once you know your strong points and your weak points, you can pick goals from the checklist that'll help you improve, fill in those gaps,
Right.
and build up a whole set of skills.
So it's not just about picking whatever badge looks cool.
Right.
It's about choosing ones that actually help you in
Yeah.
the areas you need to get better at.
You're in charge of your own growth.
No, there's one more thing I got to ask about. Remember those skill cards with the dollar amounts on them? What's that all about? It's like they made their own little currency system.
It does seem that way, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's not like spelled out exactly in the documents.
Yeah.
But it's pretty interesting to think about. Like, could you use these skill coins to get into special workshops
Ooh.
or mentorship programs? Maybe even get funding for your project. Who knows?
Oh, no. Like, what if it's a whole, like, mini economy
Yeah.
inside Community on Demand? You earn these skill coins by completing goals, and showing off your skills. And then you can use them to, like, invest in yourself or even work with other people on projects.
Like a marketplace for skills and talent.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, we got to look into this SkillCoin thing more. I'm super curious now. But for now, let's switch gears
Okay.
and talk about the Skills Self-Assessment Worksheet a little more. I want to, like, really understand how it works, what kind of stuff you can learn about yourself.
Let's do it. Knowing yourself is the first step, right?
All right, everyone, get ready to look in the mirror. The skill assessing mirror, that is. We're about to find your hidden talents
Awesome.
and maybe even some areas where you can level up.
I'm excited. So this skill self-assessment worksheet, let's take a look.
Okay.
You'll see it's broken down into sections, right? Each one focuses on a different skill: communication, leadership, teamwork, problem solving. The usual stuff.
Right.
But then it gets interesting.
Okay, I'm listening. What's so interesting? Like, does it ask you weird questions or something?
Not really weird. It's more about how it makes you think about your skills.
Okay.
Instead of just like rating yourself, 1 to 10, it asks you to give examples.
Example.
Yeah, like real examples of how you've used that skill. It's about looking back at stuff you've done and finding proof.
Proof. Oh,
Proof that you can actually do it.
Oh, so it's not just saying, I'm a good communicator.
Right.
It's like, remember that time I gave that presentation to the school board and they funded our robotics club?
Exactly. And that story, that's gold. Right?
Yeah.
You can use that on your resume, in your portfolio.
Okay.
It's not just saying you have this skill, it's showing you do.
Show, don't tell.
Right.
Right.
Okay, now, you're starting to see how this all connects.
Yeah.
You assess your skills, you get that proof, and then you use that to go after specific badges on the checklist.
And then those get you the micro credentials.
And then you can show those off.
It's like a cycle. You get better, and then you achieve more, and then you get even better.
Exactly. And it puts young people in control,
Yeah.
They're not just learning, they're building something.
Yeah.
They're creating a record of all the cool stuff they can do.
Now, there was this one part of the worksheet that I don't know, it just caught my eye. The skill cards section
Oh, yeah.
with those, like, dollar values on them.
Right.
It's like they turned learning skills into a game,
Yeah, a little bit.
with its own, like, currency.
They're saying, hey, you learned something new? That's awesome. And it's worth something. Like leveling up, getting reward.
Yeah. And it makes you wonder, right?
Yeah.
Like, how do these skill cards even work?
Yeah.
Can you use them to, like, buy stuff? or get special access to things, inside Community on Demand,
Mm.
are they like actual coins you can trade?
It's hard to say.
Yeah.
They don't really go into detail in these documents.
Yeah, but it's fun to think about, right?
Oh, for sure. Like imagine you could use these skill coins to, I don't know, attend a workshop
Yeah.
led by like some super famous expert.
Oh, or like a mentorship program.
Yeah, with a successful entrepreneur.
Or wait, what if you could like combine your coins with other people?
What do you mean?
Like to fund a project together.
That's interesting. Like a group investment.
Yeah, the possibilities, they're endless.
It's not just you learning on your own anymore.
Yeah.
It's like you're part of this bigger thing.
Okay, we gotta find out more about these still coins. I'm hooked. But let's take a step back for a minute.
Okay, yeah.
And think about the big picture.
Right.
Like what's the real point of all this? The checklist, the self-assessment, this whole system. What does it mean for our listener, that young entrepreneur out there with big dreams?
I think it's about giving them a way to make those dreams happen. They can take control, you know, and really plan out a path to a career they'll love in a STEAM field.
It's like they're getting a map, a compass, and all the tools they need all in one package.
Yeah.
They can navigate, they can find their strengths, they can get better where they need to, and they can build up like this whole collection of achievements. And that's going to open doors, create opportunities.
And they're doing it in a way that's fun. It's engaging. It's not just like boring old school stuff.
Yeah, it's hands-on,
Yeah.
real world stuff, and you get actual rewards for it.
It's not just about like memorizing facts. It's about learning how to think, how to solve problems, how to be creative.
And how to adapt, right? Because things are always changing.
Exactly. Always be learning, always be growing, always be like pushing yourself to get better.
And it all starts with looking at yourself honestly, right?
Yeah.
Doing that self-assessment, that's the first step. And it can be really powerful,
It is. It's like you're seeing all the things you could be
I like that.
and realizing you have the power to make it happen.
I think our listeners are starting to see that too. But, before we finish up, I got to go back to those skill cards one more time.
Oh, you're still thinking about those?
I am. We talked about how you might use them, inside Community on Demand. But what about like the bigger picture?
What do you mean?
Like what if this SkillCoin thing, it took off, became like a real currency in the whole world,
Interesting.
Like what if employers, they started looking at your skill coins when you applied for a job?
Instead of just your resume.
Yeah. Or investors, they use skill coins to find like promising new companies to support.
That would change everything, wouldn't it?
It would. It wouldn't just be about, your degrees and stuff.
Right.
It would be about what you could actually do.
It would give everyone a chance, no matter where they come
To
from.
show what they're made of. That's a big deal.
It is. It's a bold idea, but it fits, It fits with what Community on Demand is all about.
Yeah.
They're not just getting people ready for the world as it is. They're trying to build a better one.
Where talent matters.
Yeah.
Skills matter.
Exactly.
That's a future I can get behind. But for now, let's come back to reality for a minute.
Yeah.
And focus on, what our listener can do right now. We've covered a lot, and I don't want them to feel overwhelmed.
Yeah.
So what's the one thing you would tell them as they're starting out on this STEAM adventure?
Well, I'd say, don't be afraid to just dive in.
Yeah.
Grab that worksheet, that Skills Self-Assessment Worksheet,
Uh-huh.
and just, have fun with it. It's not a test.
Right.
It's more like, a journey. You're figuring yourself out.
Yeah.
Think back on things you've done, even small things. Have you ever, I don't know, organized something,
Yeah.
led a group of people, solved a problem?
Those are all good things. Yeah.
Those are clues. The skills you already have.
It's like a treasure hunt almost.
Exactly. And then once you see, what you're good at and what you maybe need to work on, that's where that checklist comes in.
The achievement domains checklist.
That's your guide, your path. Look at those badges.
Yeah.
Which ones get you excited? Don't be afraid to push yourself a little. It's not just about checking things off a list,
Right.
You're actually learning stuff, building skills, and getting these credentials. And those can open doors.
And if those skill cards with their value, if that gets you going, even better.
Yeah, it's like extra motivation.
Right, totally. It's all about finding what works for you. That's the great thing about these resources. You can go at your own pace, Focus on what you're into, what your goals are.
And remember, this whole STEAM world, it's always changing, right?
Well, yeah, for sure.
New tech, new jobs, new problems to solve.
So we got to be ready. Got to adapt.
That's why it's so important to always be learning, always be curious.
Be a lifelong learner.
Yeah. Don't be afraid to try stuff, to mess up even. You learn from that.
That's how you get better, yeah.
That's how you make new things happen.
All right, so let's wrap this up.
Okay.
Big question for our listener. We've gone through all this stuff, these documents from Community on Demand. They're like, your tools, your guide. But here's the challenge. How are you going to use them? How are you going to find what makes you stand out and build a career you love?
That's the question, isn't it? And the answer, it's different for everyone. It's about you. What are you passionate about? What do you want to change in the world?
What problems do you want to solve?
Use these tools to figure that out, to get better at what you do, to connect with people, and really just unleash what you've got inside.
I love that. It's not just about getting a job.
Right.
It's about doing something you care about, something that matters, making a difference.
And that's what STEAM is all about.
Yeah.
It's not just the letters, the science, the tech, all that. It's bigger. It's about creativity. It's about solving problems. It's about working together to make things better.
For yourself and for everyone.
Exactly.
So if you're ready for this, if you're ready to dive into this whole STEAM world, start today.
Go for it.
Check out these resources, figure yourself out, and get ready to make things happen.
The future is waiting.
And that's it for this deep dive. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep pushing the limits.